Hello, and thank you for joining me in another video. I hope you find this one informational. Just to start off, I know in my last video, I talked about me believing in a female energy god or versus a male god. And there are two in the Bible, which is why I highlighted the two different versions of creation. But some people wonder how I can say I don't believe 100% in the Bible's accuracy. There is two very important reasons. The one I will never say outright. The second reason, actually, I'm going to go to the New World Translation, which is the Jehovah's Witnesses edition of the Bible, to read something to you. And this is something that other scholars couldn't wholeheartedly agree with because it is a fact. And they put it in their own Bible. It's on page 1726. And I urge you, if you have your own copy of this Bible still, look it up for yourself because that's what has the most impact. Not what I'm saying to you, but what you yourself can research either through Google or this Bible, whatever, to prove it to yourself. Okay? So it's A3. Can you see that? A3, How the Bible Came to Us. That's the one I'm going to read. So this is the reason, the second reason, why I don't believe 100% in the Bible's accuracy. It says in the very start, the author and originator of the Bible is also its preserver. He is the one who caused this statement to be recorded. And that's found in Isaiah chapter 40, verse 8. It says, the word of our God endures forever. Now, notice what it says here. That statement is true. Now, that's funny that they say that statement's true, but listen. Even though no original Bible manuscript of the Hebrew and Aramaic scriptures or the Christian Greek scriptures has survived till our day. So, if no original Bible manuscripts survived, how do you know that statement is true that's made in the Bible? This is something in their own Bible that they admit, and even other scholars can admit this. There are no original Bible manuscripts that survived. None. Hebrew or Greek. So they're going on bits and pieces of what have been found, and also people who have been inspired and not by the correct source to put things in the Bible. And that's how we got all of this in different versions of the Bible. It's also good to notice that in the third paragraph of this same section, it says, what about the 27 books of the Christian Greek scriptures? Those books were first penned by some of the apostles of Jesus Christ and by a few other early disciples. Following the tradition of the Jewish scribes, early Christians made copies of those books. Despite attempts by Roman Emperor Diocletian and others to destroy all early Christian literature, thousands of ancient fragments and manuscripts have been preserved until our day. So it even admits here a lot of things were destroyed, okay? And they got fragments of manuscripts and little pieces that have been preserved. So basically, they put together a book, Man Who Was Inspired, with bits of truth and a lot of fallacies. That is the truth. It's right here. It's not something that, people made up. So the point is, for me, okay, truth never changes, but it is sometimes hidden and covered over in order to hide certain things and also to create a new purpose for the ones that want that. Hopefully that was clear. And I do once again urge you to do your own research, even if it's not from this, from other sources of information. But that's basically the reason that I can show to you why I do not believe the Bible is 100% accurate. Okay? And why mother is actually hidden from the entire Bible and tried to basically be erased from history. As I said in my last video, what I want to do is contrast basically father's view of humans and also their behaviors, also known as sin, which sin for me is a different meaning than what most people think of it is. But I'll get into that another time. It's too much right now. And basically, what I want to do is contrast Father or the rebel God or Jehovah versus Mother, who is the true creator of the universe or the true God. So I mentioned in my last video also in Genesis 3:15 that Father or this rebel God basically made a vow in the Garden of Eden that there would be enmity between man and woman and also between Jehovah's offspring or the man and mother's offspring because she's the woman in the Bible. And that was his vow. And that's what he's basically carried out since that second creation, making women have enmity between men. They're always trying to, a power struggle basically. But men dominates, which is also in Genesis, the woman. And then also the offspring of the woman, who are those who serve her, versus the offspring who serve Jehovah or the Father or the rebel God, would conflict. So I just want to say that too. Now let's get into Father, this rebel God or Satan, whatever term you want to use for him. He wants humans to live in fear. That is his primary goal. He wants them to feel insignificant and insecure. And by making them feel this way, they become dependent upon him because they truly feel that they cannot live any type of way except by following his rules. And he gets people to do that through fear, punishment, and it works. Mother wants us to be happy, she wants us to be free, and she wants us to be confident within ourselves. So it's the complete opposite of what Father wants for us. So Father motivates humans to worship him through fear, fear of consequences or actions to their behaviors that he deems wrong, mind you. His thought of what is wrong or evil. Mother motivates humans to acknowledge her, and I say acknowledge and not worship for a reason. She wants them to acknowledge her by continuously showing unconditional love. That's why she has no bias. Just like the scripture says that, the sun shines on the wicked and the righteous. That's mother. She does not have any type of bias. Even to those who we as humans would deem as not worthy of having good things, she holds nothing back. That's what any good parent would do. They would not hold anything back from their children. So, another example. Let's say the example of Adam and Eve. We know how Father reacted to Adam and Eve eating from that one tree in the middle of the garden. Do you really think the consequences of that action warranted the consequences or punishment? You ask yourself this. You can, free will. If you think it does, great. If you think it does not, then, that's logical thinking. To put it like this, it would be like, let's say when you were smaller, your mother or father having a big display of beautiful cupcakes and putting them in the middle of the kitchen. So every time you walked back and forth through that kitchen, you seen those beautiful, luscious cupcakes every time you walk past them. And your mom or dad said, you know what? Those are mine. Don't touch them. But you can have the other stuff. But I'm going to literally purposely put this in front of you to tempt you every time you walk past them. And they're mine, by the way, because I don't love you enough to let you partake in my cupcakes. Just so you know. Just so you know your place. And that I have that right to do this. How do you think that child would feel? Do you think the child would feel that was really fair? And as a parent that's supposed to be loving, why would you even put your child through that type of temptation in the first place? Instead of saying, like Mother did in the first creation, you can partake of whatever I provided for you. Whatever is here, enjoy it. This is just showing you the mentality of this rebel God or father. He actually, and we can read about it in Genesis, from that point on, introduced suffering, death, all of this because they partook of a fruit that he put there because he wanted to take away their free will and felt that it was his right, even though he is not the true God, to put this rule into the Garden of Eden. Now, this is father. Now, let me contrast it with mother. And I'm going to use the example of Cain. We know Cain was the first murderer in the Bible. So, no doubt, murder is definitely wrong. There is no arguing about that. Okay. But the thing with mother is she sees people's hearts, not just the action, but the intent behind it. Father doesn't care about the intent. He cannot read hearts. He sees the action and immediately displays rage and consequences. Mother's not like that. She's patient. She reads the heart. She knows the entire story. So if you notice, Cain tried his best to please God, but the God he was trying to please was Jehovah. Mind you, mother is never not looking on to situation. She's just patient, like I mentioned in the last video. So Cain still had this desire in his heart to worship the right way. Humans, even though Father recreated them, were still brought forth from the original human's DNA. So they still have this inborn need to worship purely, and that is mother's way. Okay? So Abel worshiped Father's way, which included killing animals and sacrificing them because he enjoys that. As sick and sad as it is, he enjoys that. And you can see that throughout the theme of the Bible. Not only does he kill animals, but people too. It's inconsequential to him. He does not care. Mother cares. So she is not condemning the fact that he killed someone, not at all, and neither am I. But what we have to see is that Cain truly did try his best to live up to mother's standards. And he did this by growing the best produce that he could and offering that as a sacrifice to this rebel God, Jehovah. But Jehovah consistently rejected that sacrifice because it reminded him of mother and what she would approve of, not what he would approve of. So Cain was trying to do the right thing constantly, but not only did he get rejection from God, this rebel God, not the true one, he was never rejected by her, but he was also taunted by his brother. And this went on for a long time. And this is what no one understands. Because if you just read the account, you wouldn't know the backstory. And you're probably wondering why I know it. And once again, I would never tell you why. Because I'm not trying to, basically take the attention away from what I'm here to do. And that's bring attention to mother and her purpose, the God she truly is. Okay? So mother understood this. This is why, even though he did something wrong, She did not condemn him because she understood his heart, his motives, and the whole story. And this, I have to pause because I'm going to cry again. See, emotional. Okay, back. So, what I was trying to say is just like with you and me and all humans, Mother sees not just the mistake or sin, she sees everything surrounding it, the circumstances, the person's heart condition, everything. And this is how she can forgive because she just doesn't see what Father sees, which is surface. She sees more. And because of that, she can forgive and she has every right to judge. And because Christ is part of Mother, he was trying to let people see Mother through him. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, how do you know Jesus represented Mother? And I'll go into that further. But just the way he treated women in the Bible should be enough for those who are really open hearted and minded to know that he was not on Father's side. And that's the reason why Father needed him killed. But again, let me get back on topic. If I could tell you guys everything in one go, it would literally take me days. I would love to, but bit by bit. That's the best way to do it. So, another thing is, Father in Genesis chapter 6 and verse 7 mentions that he was sorry he made humans. Mother was never sorry that she made humans. Never. Because she views all humans as her children or offspring. As long as they are not doing Jehovah's will and they are truly trying to do the right thing. Jehovah, Satan, this rebel God, only views his offspring as those who are playing by his rules, obeying his laws that he makes. And actually, today, the only ones doing that in its entirety, following Father's rules, are Jehovah's Witnesses. Every other religion and nation that he's tried to make his own has veered and actually incorporated mothers' ways of worshiping into their worship, which is corrupted what Father has tried to do. So he rejected, and now he's created his own organization, which is Jehovah's Witnesses, to do his will. And that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. But anyway, hopefully this did help you understand mother versus father a little bit. Father is not a good God to worship, but once again, everyone has free will and they can do what they want. Mother just wants people to be happy. She forgives in such a large way because she truly can see beyond just the sin or the action that a person or even a spirit creature takes. So that's it for today. I'm going to end it there. Hopefully, I was clear enough. If I'm not, because I have so much in my head that I'm trying to like communicate, sometimes I don't know if it comes out clearly. That's my problem. Um, so next time, I think what I'm going to do is either do another video for to heal, basically, and if I don't do that, then I'll go into a little bit more of Father's part of Genesis and also the flood, because the flood was also not what it appears to be in the Bible. It was purposely changed once again. But I'll get into that in the next video. I hope you're all doing well and are healthy. And I wish you a beautiful day. Okay? Till next time. Bye.